the Marvels
Oh.
came out.
How'd it do?
Bad.
Oh, no.
It's doing bad.
It's still bad. We didn't talk about it because it came out, the final trailer came out between the last podcast and this podcast, and the movie's out now, so... But I don't know if you saw it.
No.
But just a fascinating piece of... They just put in some like Captain America and Iron Man archival
Oh, I
footage.
did see a bit of that.
Did you see that? It was a real...
You remember
real
Avengers?
swing for the fences. You remember Endgame? Well, this is the next movie after Endgame. Forget everything else.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry.
You don't need to know anything that happened. As far as you're concerned, you fell asleep after Endgame. You woke up. It's time for the next movie. Don't even worry about it. Disney Plus, never heard of it. Disney Plus series? Don't know what you're talking about.
Secret Invasion?
WandaVision? WandaVision, Ms. Marvel, never heard of him.
Nope. She-Hulk?
Never heard of it. Nope.
Shut up.
It's only Man-Hulk.
That's right. On a budget of maybe $250 million, that fluctuates. Some people say 220. It had a box office opening US. It's expected to have a 47 to 52 million weekend, or 110 to 115 million worldwide. It also had the second lowest opening day gross behind The Incredible Hulk out of the whole MCU.
That one doesn't even count for some reason.
No, it doesn't count. It's not a real one. It also has the lowest opening weekend debut for a Disney MCU movie domestically, as in the US.
So does that not include the ones that they made before Marvel was acquired by Disney?
Yeah, I guess. No,
So
but
the
even
first
then,
three.
I think even then it's still
Yeah.
worse.
No.
And it's got the lowest international weekend box office for a Disney MCU movie. Also, even like Ant-Man somehow got over $100 million in its opening weekend domestic. And that's not a good movie. Ant-Man 3. I should specify,
Yeah, sure.
which probably came out this year.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right, though.
Well, the year before or 10 years ago?
I don't know. Did it come out?
Or it came out exclusive to Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Or was it on Quibi?
Was it a Christmas special?
I got a new phone this week, and I swapped all the apps over, and
You got Quibi?
My phone was like, "You want to swap over Quibi, the system that is no longer existing, the
What did
streaming
you get
system."
Quibi for?
Because we talked about.
We talked about the golden arm.
Yeah.
That's right. That's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
And as a result of this also, they started scrambling to promote this using the actors in it because the writer's strike ended just as it was opening for the weekend. So they pushed out everybody in this movie
That's right.
in front of various cameras and press events.
Yeah.
And
And cats, they got Goose out
They
there.
got Goose out.
They didn't get Goose to scab.
And I would say, we talked about this because there was an article, and not having your actors promote the movie could account for maybe 10% of opening gross or whatever, which, is not insignificant, but it doesn't account for what has happened here.
No, that's true, yeah.
There is obviously some fatigue in relation to the MCU happening at the moment. Anyways, what do you think the story was?
Oh, come on, mate. All right, well, Avengers Endgame happened.
Yep.
That was the last movie we saw.
And then don't worry about it.
Don't worry about anything, but let me think. What happened in this movie?
Some people said it's the plot of Spaceballs, but I don't remember Spaceballs well enough to confirm that to be true.
Is it?
I don't know. The villain's plot.
Oh.
I don't remember.
No, I don't think
remember
it is.
Spaceballs.
We'll look it up later.
Okay.
All right. So, bloody bad things are happening on the planet Hala, which is the Kree home world.
What?
It's not looking too good.
No.
But the leader of the Kree is
Maybe you shouldn't have turned off your sun, you fucking idiots.
You idiot. You stupid idiots.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Oh, our computer went down. Let's turn off the sun. Think. You don't need a computer to tell you to not turn off the sun.
That's right.
You should know that.
Yeah.
That's instinctual.
Yeah. You need the sun to grow your veggies and so forth.
Should we get rid of all our water? No, obviously not.
Don't do that. Don't do it. You need that to water the veggies. Anyway, the leader of the Kree is like, well, this is all Captain Marvel's fault, so let's get her.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, bloody Captain Marvel and Ms. Marvel and Photon, I guess, Spectrum.
Do they name?
No, she doesn't get spoilers.
Yeah.
Monica Rambeau's character does not get her superhero name. Their powers get entangled.
That's right.
Quantum style.
Quantum entangled.
So that's going to lead to a big predicament, isn't it?
I agree. And that is what happened.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I liked it.
I didn't mind it.
Pretty fun.
I thought it was better than the first one.
Okay, yeah.
I thought it was more interesting in terms of the things they were doing. And some of the things that I think people are like, this is big time cringe, this moment actually.
Oh,
I
because
feel like
this Ms. Marvel meets Captain Marvel for the first time after kind of, idolizing her for years. And I think a lot of people are like,
that's not
cringe hero worship.
That's not the things that I thought was cringe hero worship. Also, what I liked about that dynamic was that Captain Marvel wasn't dismissive and Tony Starking it. She was like, I know you like me and that's cool. I like you too. I thought that was I thought that was a more interesting dynamic than her being like, whatever, kid. Get away from me, kid.
Get away from me, and I'm gonna observe you from afar and don't do anything I wouldn't do or anything I would do.
Exactly.
Oh, you've made a mistake because I wasn't there. Well, that's your fault. I'm Tony Stark.
That's right. But no, I think a lot of the stuff that was like weirder and like more interesting as a concept, like there's a particular planet they go to at one point, and there's like a little like routine and thing that happens there. And I feel like stuff like that was like the weirdest stuff was either cut short or cut out.
Okay.
And that was the stuff to me that I know people are like, cringe and whatever, I'm sure.
Right,
But that to me is like, that's a fun thing.
Yeah.
Like that's a fun little sequence that.
Right.
Yeah. Like a silly thing. And there's a few things in that where I'm like, oh, that's fun and silly. And it felt like that they really just like went, how much of this can we cut out?
Right.
That's what it felt like to me.
Because this is quite a short movie, isn't
It's the shortest MCU movie we've ever seen.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Not shorter than a TV show, but one episode of a TV show. Any TV show. Yeah, I think it's better than Captain Marvel. I think it's and I think the dynamic between the three of them is good and fun.
I agree, yeah.
And leads to like some interesting interplay and also action sequences.
I think there are some really interesting action sequences, and I think the mechanism of their powers are entangled, and so every time they
quantum entangled.
So anytime they use them in sort of like when they sort of go all out, they switch places.
Yeah.
If they use them at the same time, I think that was a really good mechanism for sort of nerfing Captain Marvel, so she can't just be like cutting ships in half with her lasers and what have you. Like, and I don't mean that in a negative. I mean that in the way, like, I think that's in an Endgame style situation, or the finale to Captain Marvel, her just blowing up whole armadas of spaceships. I think that's fun.
Yeah.
But I think in a way, like when you team up these sorts of characters, you need a mechanism, so it makes sense that it's not just Captain Marvel
just obliterating
everything, and then the rest of the team just sort of following in her footsteps, shoveling debris out of the way or whatever. So I thought that was interesting, and like you said, it leads to some fun action sequences where they're learning how that system works.
Some switchy fights,
and even like a couple of Kree soldiers, can sort of become a credible threat, because you don't know what's going to happen when you use your powers, so you have to lean on. Just a big punch.
Just a big fist fighting.
Just a big fist
Hit
fighting.
somebody with a vase and etc.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think, again, like we say with every Marvel movie, I think the casting is what works. So I think Brie Larson's great. Iman Vellani is terrific, of course. Tiana Paris as...
Photon or whoever.
I think they're, like you said, they're a great teamwork.
Yeah.
Supporting cast, of course, we've got Samuel L. Jackson is back.
Oh, yeah.
Which is nice.
He forgot Secret Invasion, I assume.
Didn't bring it up
he
at
didn't
all.
Say anything about it.
Didn't say anything about it.
But this is also, there are like Skrulls and Kree, and he didn't mention that.
Didn't mention it at all.
He didn't mention how like the president was a Skrull or whatever, did he? Or
no, he didn't mention that at all. No.
I would have brought it up.
That he shot his friend Rhodey in the head, and it turned out he was a Skrull.
Yeah.
Didn't mention that at all.
No.
Yeah, I wonder if there was more. Again, do you think there was more to that in this? Had Secret Invasion been a success?
No, I don't think these were ever linked. I know, like I saw an interview might have been with the director Nia DaCosta, who was like, "Oh, he's different in this because like he's around different people, so like he has a different like vibe when he's hanging out with these guys as opposed to like Ben."
He's wearing a brown jacket, not a black jacket.
But I think it's just he's just in this movie is different.
That's right.
He's just different.
Yeah.
But, he's always good as Nick Fury, so I don't have any complaints.
Do you think there were two sound stages, one for Secret Invasion and one for the Marvels, and he would just switch between? He'd put a different jacket on,
different volumes.
Yeah, so he'd remember which version of the character he was.
Which eye patch? Do I just switch the eye patch to the other eye? And then can I do that? Then I'll know which movie I'm supposed to be in or whatever.
But who else? I think...
Villain's not great.
Sorry?
The villain's not great. In terms of like... I think I like her. But I think it's a pretty kind of like...
you took everything from me.
Yeah, and now I'm going to... Also, she's right. But it's also like, but I'm going to kill a bunch of refugees, etc. Whatever, so it's that. It's that thing again.
It is that thing again. Yeah, again, I think Iman Vellani's a standout. I think she's really good in this, as she was in the TV series. If people haven't checked it out, which I'm sure a lot of people haven't.
Yep.
But yeah, I liked her enthusiasm. I liked her, I like the character's reverence for the universe that she's in. And like, I don't know, we need a character who knows what they're doing in terms of like just being kind be happy to be in the universe. Yeah. I think the enthusiasm definitely works.
It's a fun animated sequence.
And we get a family who I like as well.
Well, one of them might be a bad guy in real life.
He might be a bad guy in real life, but he's in every scene that all the family are in, and so it probably would be hard to cut him out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I think also, the suits are good. There's a moment where they all get some new Captain Marvel-esque suits, and I think all of those will look good. The new Captain Marvel one that Brie Larson has, it's kind of got a Superman, Man of Steel kind of vibe and texturing to it.
And
it's like
sort of
it's a muted kind of
suit.
And I quite like the look of that one as well. But they all, I think all the suits, like all the different suits, are very kind of dynamic and fit like their personas and all of that really well, which I think is fun.
They did that thing though, where Photon or whoever, she gets the suit, and it's meant to be like there's a version of her from the 80s that has a kind of like a silky wing kind of situation, and she has them on for a fraction of a second. She's like, no, it doesn't work for me, and she rips them off kind of thing.
Oh, okay, I forgot about that.
Okay, no, commit to
You don't like it?
I think she
keep the silky wings.
Keep the silky wings.
Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely. I'm just going to talk about this sequence. This is a minor spoiler, but there's a moment where the time codes below if you want to skip. But there's a moment where they go to like a planet where they communicate through song, and so most of them can't speak or understand you if you talk normally. Everything's communicated through.
They do speak in English.
Yeah, they do speak in English. I mean, they've all got universal translators.
Yeah.
But I thought that was really fun.
Yes.
And again, like I think that's going to be a thing that people are like, I hate this and cringe or whatever.
Yeah.
But anytime that, even if it didn't work for me, which I think it did, I just like appreciate put a weird singing planet in here. Why not?
The thing, what I thought was interesting about that is that they didn't get everybody involved.
Well, that's what I think. I reckon this was like a bigger kind of moment.
And everybody sung.
Yeah. Like, and you could have done like
Was there a dance sequence in
Ms. Marvel? I'm pretty sure there was at some point, maybe.
So I think it's odd that they didn't get... I would have liked to seen Ms. Marvel and Photon or whoever and the family
That's
all
what
get
I mean.
involved.
I don't think they committed to like certain ideas
You would think that you'd be like... Oh, I remember this. Yeah. This happened in my TV series in Ms. Marvel. I'll also do. Like, Iman Vellani's sort of there in the background.
Yeah.
She's into it, the character. But it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it was still fun.
Yeah, I thought, again, fun, but like I could have done with more of this. There's a reason why like the Kree are coming after Captain Marvel. And there's kind of this
moment. She didn't pay her taxes.
That's right. There's a moment of like reflection of how she kind of caused a bunch of this and whatever. And I think that's an interesting element to this character of like, well, this whole thing that's happening is because of you. But it feels really like they speed through that.
They do, don't they?
And I would have liked to have kind of like, not like sat in the consequences of it for too long, but like explore that idea a little bit more. That she rushed to do this thing which caused the events of
She
this
didn't
movie.
pay her taxes.
Didn't pay her taxes.
And they didn't have enough money to maintain the artificial intelligence. And then it shut down and they were like, well, let's blow up the sun, I guess.
So, do you know what I mean by that, though?
I know exactly what you mean,
And that's, again, this is why I think this movie is like, it's fun in moments and it's fine, but it really feels like they just took a fucking axe to a bunch of this.
Yeah. I liked the sort of, we got to look in with Saber, which is like the space-based shield.
Yeah.
And I just liked, it's sort of
How was that guy 300 years old? What was he?
I wonder if he was Asgardian or something.
Oh, okay, maybe he was. I recognize him, but I don't know whether it's from the MCU or something else.
Yeah, I don't know. But I like the idea we got a look at like Earth's integration into the larger like cosmic Marvel universe. Like it's just sort of, it's in orbit and we're not out in like Guardians of the Galaxy style. We're just sort of like reaching out like as far as we can into space. I thought that was a bit
There's
fun.
an attempt to do that. I think also like aesthetically it's way more interesting than I think a bunch of Marvel stuff recently. I think it looks better than a lot of MCU stuff recently.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it feels like in terms of like special effects and like design, it feels finished.
Yeah.
And like, because I remember the aesthetic of like Captain Marvel I found was just kind of like generic space blah. But here I think you like seeing different ships and planets and alien races. It felt more kind of what you do in like a Guardians movie or one of the better Thor movies than just like generic Blade Runner sci-fi.
Yes, for
whatever, And I love movies, but I thought this was okay.
You don't love all movies.
No, that's true, actually. I love the Ghostbusters movies.
I was going to say you love the Ghostbusters movies. I know that about you.
Should we do some spoilers?
Yes.
Yeah, best
I'm going to say best movie ever. I had a lot of fun with this. I mean, compare it to, what are the last few Marvel movies?
Ant-Man.
Garbage.
Thor.
Garbage.
Yeah, I thought it was better than those. It's not better than Guardians 3.
No, it's not. No.
Yeah.
No.
But
it's not, like I wouldn't go, God, I wish I was watching Guardians 3 right now.
Yeah. But do you wish you were?
No.
Even now?
No, even now.
Instead of doing this?
No.
You could
but
watch a movie.
I think, to me, this feels like a fun palate cleanser in the sense of like, not every Marvel movie can be Guardians 3 because there's some heavy issues in it.
Yeah.
And there's some like closure to character arcs, and it gets quite deep into the grief and the et cetera. And so did Black Panther 2.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like,
God, that was brutal.
Yeah, if we missed, like, if we skipped a few, this would be like, this is one where we just go in there and we have a bit of fun, and the universe is at stake, but also we're just having a bit of fun, and
It's also interesting that, this was originally Rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, and now it's at a 62%, so it's a little bit high. So it's now just fresh. And not that this means anything, because this can be changed in any number of ways, but the audience score is 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I feel like the response to this is like, people are like, not always, but a lot of it's like, it's, unless you're like Brie Larson, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly,
I'm not putting that aside because, God, that fucking noise. But
Are you hungover right now, James?
Yes, Mason, I'm hungover right now. But I think people are genuinely like, it's all right. But I also think that off the back of what we've had for maybe the last few movies and years and TV shows, then people aren't going to. I think that is the main reason why people aren't seeing this.
Do you think?
Also, because did they even promote it properly? I don't know if they did.
What was the last Pixar movie that didn't do well initially, but then word of mouth went around?
Something happened.
Turning Red? It wasn't Turning Red.
Elemental ended up doing.
There we go. That's the one.
Which I didn't think was great, but it did. Like, they left it out, and
they left it out there. Maybe that's
Maybe this could happen.
Yeah, I think this movie has stuff in it where if we weren't at this point in the Marvel decline, that people would go, I love this.
Yeah,
like
if it had come out like before Endgame or whatever. That's what you're saying.
Not even. I think if people weren't. I'd like to think that I'm not going into these movies kind of like, I'm ready to hate this kind of thing.
I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did. I thought it would be like really fucking middling. And it was like better than that for me.
Go,
But let me hear your opinion if this becomes a YouTube video. Let me just scream about it in the bottom. Anyway, spoilers.
Yeah.
What's the deal with Ms. Marvel's powers, right? So she's got the photon band or whatever. But did her powers still work without it?
It seems like...
What's happening? What are her powers again?
Okay, what seems to be happening is...
Crystal time.
Well, she is officially a mutant.
Yes.
Although I think technically she might be a mutate.
Oh.
But it's not important. What I think happened is the bangle activated her inherent powers, I think.
And then she can just still do it.
And then she can do it without the bangle.
Okay.
Because they didn't seem
the bangles.
They didn't... Yeah, they didn't... There didn't seem to be any...
Did we say best movie ever?
Yes, I did.
Okay, great.
I think you also did. I think otherwise there'd be a line in there like, I can only take the bangle off for a minute, otherwise I lose my powers or something like that.
Okay,
but there didn't seem to be any concern for that. I think she just wears it because it was a grandma's bangle.
Sure, okay.
So,
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, makes sense. So Tessa Thompson's in this briefly.
That is true.
Apparently they were talking about like...
See, I think again, pre-Endgame, I think people would be like,
Tessa Thompson!
Yep.
I saw that like there was some speculation that like, are they a couple, like Brie Larson and...
like maybe they were.
Yeah, but like... Because it's a Disney movie, it's like I didn't get that sense like at all.
Right.
Like if that was supposed to be implied that they had some kind of relationship, I didn't get that.
Okay.
They played it safe.
But you can't understand human mannerisms.
I don't need to. I just need facts and logic and clarity.
Yeah, sure.
And not have this splitting fucking headache.
Yeah, sure.
That's what I need. But yeah, did you get that sense? Like, I didn't feel that at all. I thought they were like friendly, like they'd hung out and they knew each other. But
no, I definitely got an idea of like something.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, well, they're definitely
but
close.
It's enough.
But maybe it's because they murdered all those people in Endgame.
Maybe it is. But also like, it's vague enough where you can leave that in and have that interpretation, and then you don't get banned in whatever country.
That's true. I mean, that is classic Disney non-committal.
Yep.
Obviously. So, but yeah, I got the impression it's like, well, maybe probably. They've had adventures off screen or whatever.
Maybe they have.
They're cosmic space-based people, whatever.
Whoa, I love that.
Pretty good.
Anyway, I like the Cats moment.
Sure,
They play a song from Cats.
Oh.
And then all the cats eat all the people and whatever. I thought that was, again, a fun thing to have.
I thought it was good because we learn early on that the flirkin eating people doesn't kill them necessarily.
It's got like a pocket dimension.
Yeah. And then at the end we go, what's the solution? And I'm like, I bet those are Flurgan eggs.
Yeah, I think they're from the comics, right? It took me a second to be like, what is this again? I'm like, I've seen this, but I don't remember from what. Yeah.
I mean, it was telegraphed pretty heavily. There's one point the woman's like, I don't know how we're all going to get off the space station. If only we could all fit in the one space pod. And
they did. They somehow figured it out, yeah. But yeah, as I alluded to, or maybe I just straight out said.
You said it.
Captain Marvel is a big murderer. Yes. Because straight after the events of original Captain Marvel, she flew back to the Kree homeworld.
And they've retconned the
fucked up
Supreme
their
Intelligence,
computer, who's a big face now.
They've retconned it back into the classic version where it's just a big green face.
Yeah, which makes sense because like that's the source of it and whatever. And who cares?
I think Annette Bening should have shown up and be like, "Don't kill me! No.
God damn it, no. Don't do it.
Don't do it."
And then because their supercomputer,
I'll tell my husband Warren Beatty about this. No,
because the supercomputer goes out.
Yeah,
they decide to put out the sun and take all the water and air away.
I don't think they decided to do that.
They did.
Okay.
They made a series of poor decisions.
Sure.
And I thought,
should we turn our hydroelectric station into mining Bitcoin? Yes. Oh no!
So Brie Larson's like basically not Brie Larson, the actor, but the Brie Larson character is responsible for, in a way, the decline of this civilization.
Sure, yeah,
which is why the villain has a big hammer and wants to hit her in the head.
But they are also like, they are. I mean, they're. I guess their government is like a warmongering. Government.
Exactly.
But it's not the people's fault.
No, but I did feel like that, again, interesting idea. And I think it also, like, because there are people complaining and like, oh, she's just perfect and good at everything. And it's like, well, not this.
Sure, yeah.
Not this thing that happened.
Well, great way to make a mistake, Brie Larson, the actor, and accidentally destroy the society.
Yeah,
So the villain's plan is...
the
reveal is that having both... There are two bangles. Ms. Marvel had one and activated her powers.
There's the band.
And then there's the band, so there's three bangles. And the remaining bangle was out in space.
Yep.
And if you combine the two bangles, it enables you to create jump points, hyperspace jump points.
Yes.
And apparently at some point in the distant past, somebody used these bangles to create the jump point network that allows everybody in the Marvel universe.
The beehive thing you say.
Yeah, all the hexagons. That enables them to like fly faster than light to different locations. And so the villain's plan is she is going to open a bunch of unstable jump points to steal the resources from various planets to rebuild her planet.
Yeah.
And the planet she's stealing resources from are ones that are significant to Captain Marvel.
Yes.
Because they hate Captain Marvel.
Yep.
Which is fair.
Because she punched out their computer.
She absolutely punched that computer right in its nuts. I mean, what I think the problem, of course, is that happens a lot of the time, I think, with Marvel movies is they're like, oh, by the way, a bunch of stuff happened behind the scenes that you didn't see, but trust us, it happened. So Captain Marvel, the planets that are having resources stolen from them are significant to Captain Marvel.
Yes.
So one is Earth, obviously, because that's where she's from. But then the other couple of planets where they're stealing the atmosphere and the water.
There's the Sing Song planet.
There's the Sing Song planet and the Skrull planet.
So what happened to those planets? We never found out. Again,
I think at the end they went, oh, actually, they'll be fine.
Yeah, but like I feel like that's something that was probably in the movie at some point. Like we saw something happen. We'd cut to the planet at the end.
Oh, to the end,
the Sing Song planet.
Yeah, and the Skrulls would be there in front of the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Exactly.
Going, we defeated them.
We did it.
No, there was literally just a line where somebody said, "Oh, the planets will recover."
I missed that.
Okay,
completely.
right. Were you hungover?
No, not that.
But you were thinking about getting hungover.
I knew I was going to be.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So you're probably not focused.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Focused on being a grump.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we'd not seen either of those planets before, like the other two. So it was kind of like, well, this planet is significant to me because I married that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
He kind of looked like Loki a little bit.
That's right.
So the post-credits of this, Mason, this is interesting. So Kevin Feige talked about Harry Styles returning because he was, of course, in the post-credits of The Eternals. And he said, he's excited, we're excited, we will see.
Okay.
We've introduced a lot of new characters in a lot of movies and a lot of tags. That is true. Where do the tag folk reappear? That's a good question.
It's a great. I mean, most of them have. A few of them noticeably have not. Specifically, Harry Styles,
correct,
as Eros, the Eternal of Love.
But we're going to talk about the Beast is in this. Mr. Beast shows
Okay,
up.
well, yeah, Mr. Beast. No. So we get two post credits.
Do we?
Yeah, we get two.
I thought there was a mid credits and that's it. You might be thinking of a pre-credits.
Was
What's
it
the
pre-credits?
first one you're talking about?
Well, the one I'm talking about is that Ms. Marvel goes to big time New York City, baby.
Yeah.
And she meets Hawkeye, new Hawkeye.
That's just at the end of the movie, I think.
Okay,
yeah.
right. Well,
she does a Nick Fury on it.
Yeah, again, that's the thing that I think if a few years ago, if they'd done that, people would be like, yes,
yeah,
they're doing the thing again, but it's a different thing. It's a riff.
They're doing Young Avengers?
It's a Young Avengers thing. So so she meets new...
We're going to get Hulk bad haircut.
We might get Hulk bad haircut.
From She-Hulk?
Yeah, we got a lot of options. I was going to say...
Little Ant-Man?
Yeah, young Ant-Man
As in
lady.
younger Ant-Man, yeah.
Younger Ant-Man lady.
Yeah. Wait, this sounds like a team of girls.
Well, it's some boys. There's also Scarlet Witch's kids.
Oh, yeah.
Who may or may not be real.
They could put in as Miles Morales, I guess, if they ever get to that. Which
That's
they
true.
probably will.
America Chavez, Team of Girls.
Yep.
Patriot,
Who's that?
Falcon Winter Soldier, the original Captain America's kid. Remember?
Original Captain America's kid.
Do you remember?
Steve Rogers' kid.
No.
What are you talking about?
Eli Bradley. So Isaiah Bradley, who was Carl. Remember Carl Lumley was in Falcon Winter
that's
Soldier?
right.
Yeah. So he
I
was
forgot about him.
he was the guy, he was the Captain America they tested the serum on before they gave it to Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
So he might be on the team.
Yep, cool.
Someone has suggested Kid Loki from Loki.
Oh, yeah.
He could be on it.
Chucking a kid Loki.
Ironheart, of course.
Yep.
Scar, Hulk's son, bad haircut.
Yep.
And there you go. That's the whole team, I reckon.
There you go.
That's covered it.
And they could bring in whoever else they really wanted to.
Yeah, that's true. They could.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. But this time around, I mean, that was the end of the movie, I believe.
Okay.
In the mid-credit scene, because of course, Photon or whatever her name isn't, goes through a reality to close reality.
Yeah, sure.
She accidentally goes into a different reality.
Imagine if you haven't seen this movie and you're trying to piece together the plot from what we've said about it.
I feel like
A
that.
noble endeavor, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah, so Photon or whoever, she's gone. She's going to close. She has to close the unstable.
We've got to close
jump
the
point.
unstable thing.
Well, I'll use my powers.
No.
Well, I'll have to do a big sacrifice. Okay.
Can you not? No.
No, I'll do it. But I just tell you no, though, it won't be a real sacrifice because I'll still be alive on the other side.
And I'll be back. Definitely.
I'll be back. I'll be
Not
fine.
probably,
Yeah.
definitely.
Unless I do something wrong in my real life, in which case I will be quietly dropped. Anyway, she wakes up in a hospital bed, only to discover her mother, who in her normal reality has passed away.
Good
still
reaction,
alive.
by the way. I thought she reacted really realistically.
Yeah.
That's some good acting, man.
Because her mother died during the blip while she was blipped.
And her mother happened to be wearing a blanket.
Yeah, that's right.
Over her superhero costume.
That's exactly right. So anyway, she's like, "Oh, my mother, you're alive." But then it turns out that in this reality, Lashana Lynch's character did not have a kid, but instead she got the powers of Captain Marvel, and she's binary.
Not the other movie where she got the powers of Captain Marvel.
Yeah, it's a different
Doctor
one.
Strange.
Yeah. So,
movie,
and so then Monica Rambeau, Photon or whoever, is attended to by Dr. Hank McCoy, Beast.
Oh my God, who's he played by?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Sort of Kelsey Grammer, but not. It's a different design. He's all CGI. What's going on there?
The designs from the 90s cartoon. What it seems. Well, not just that, but like various comic books.
So here's a question for you, James. And this
is it the X-Men 3 universe? No.
No, it's not. But I again in this a few years ago, if they'd thrown this in, people would be like, "Oh my God, what's happening? Is this how they're going to introduce the X-Men?
Yeah.
What's going on?"
I avoided this spoiler, and then before the movie, I googled like, "Is there a post credits?" And it's like Hank McCoy's in the post credits, played by Kelsey Grammer. I'm like, God damn it!
Yeah.
I'm a moron.
Is it Kelsey Grammer though?
It's his voice.
Is it?
It's
though?
sort of his face. Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Yeah,
Right.
because if you don't know, people probably know, but he played Beast in X-Men 3. It's not a great movie, but he's a great choice.
Yeah.
And he also appears in Days of Future Past, like very briefly at the very end. Where he's like Logan.
And is he also in a Deadpool? Is he in Deadpool 2 for in a room?
No, they use the other one.
Oh yeah, they
use
used
Young Beast.
Young Beast, yeah.
I think like the CGI is not great.
No.
But the design I like.
Yeah.
I like
So I guess my question is to you.
Oh, okay. No, it's not the X-Men 3 universe, Mason. I already
It's
answered
not
your
my
question.
question, James. Do you think this is how they're going to introduce the X-Men?
They're gonna-
So this is a universe akin to the multiverse of madness parallel universe that Doctor Strange went into.
Yep.
Except in this universe, they weren't all torn to shreds by Scarlet Witch.
Yes.
So, but this is a parallel universe.
I think this is how they're gonna. I think they're gonna merge realities, and the X-Men are gonna be. They're basically just gonna drop in everything. They're not gonna build up the school, and all the mutants in the 70 years of history. They're just gonna fucking dump the whole thing in.
I think what is probably going to happen,
like a brain transplant.
Yeah. So for people that don't know, in the comic books, there's the modern day Secret Wars comic.
Yeah.
It's is it the Beyonder? He takes a bunch of realities and he smashes them all together into one world.
Fuck, man, I don't know.
Well, that's probably what happens. Anyway, I think they're probably going to do something similar to that, using Kang or the Beyonder or Doctor Doom.
Deadpool 3, etc.
Deadpool 3, etc. And then, if I had to guess, I would say, and I do. I don't.
I have to.
I have to, though. I'm going to say that at the end of Secret Wars, they're going to cut off access to all the other parallel multiverse realities because it's too much work.
Yeah.
I think they might do a Crisis on Infinite Earths where they destroy all the alternate Earths and they go, well, that's the end of that.
We did it.
But the one reality that's left has been changed.
Yes.
And it's probably that they've taken all the mutants have been put on the regular Earth and then they just, I think they're probably also going to do, everybody remembers the universe. Everybody
remembers everything?
No, I think they're going to do.
Or it's like a blip situation where it's like an awful like.
No, I think they're going to
sudden...
I think they're going to do. Reality gets altered. The X-Men have always been there.
Yeah.
And everybody remembers it like that.
Okay, sure.
I think that's probably how they're going to do it.
All right.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It's very
Are
exciting.
you excited?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm big Kev excited.
You know what the Beast thing reminds
Kev's a big Kev excited. That's a local reference.
Thank you. But it reminded.
You are hungover. You didn't. Okay.
I didn't think it was brilliant what you said.
Yeah, you must be hungover. Because you didn't think the big Kev reference that I've done probably hundreds of times before in our life was not the best thing you've ever heard. So you must be hungover and also drunk.
I am. I think that you can't be both, can you? But I think that. Oh God, what was I saying?
You were big Kev excited, is what you were saying. Yeah.
Oh God, I'm completely. Reality, something.
X-Men universe. They're going to combine them all.
Yeah.
And then they're going to never mention it again. Because I think that is the only way forward. Not only just because multiverses are played out and people hate them now.
Yeah.
I think.
They hate them if they're bad.
Yeah, but also because
Invincible is doing it.
Yeah, because you can't. It's difficult to have stakes if you can just go, well, my mother died in this universe, but she's alive in another universe, so let's just.
This wasn't the thing I was going to say, but this part of the thing I was going to say. I think also that will lead into like the soft reboot they're probably going to do where they can recast a bunch of people and be like, this is new Iron Man, this is new Thor, whatever and keep some and not others and get people for cheap and lock them into 9 years worth of movies, TV shows and whatever. Sure. Yeah, so that's where they're going to go from there. But honestly, like
the contracts now will say we will lock you into 9 movies or until our AI has scanned you enough that it can do a passable replica of you and then you're out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Have you watched Frasier No Mates yet, the new series?
No.
Yeah,
no.
Frasier, but none of his mates are here.
No, have you?
No.
Okay.
Why would I?
I was going to say.
Anyway, I got some reviews here. This one's from Will, who says, this was a good week for Marvel. The final of Loki Season 2 was spectacular and a great wrap-up for Hiddleston's journey, and the Marvels ended up being an incredibly fun and refreshing movie. Good times, best movie/TV show ever. The Nick Abide says, The Marvels was just fine. It's not the worst Marvel movie, but not the best either. I really like the 3 leads, especially Aman Vellani, the cameos, and the neat mid-credits scene, but the action story and villains were just generic in my opinion. Vinton says, wait, so why exactly are people hating on the Marvels? The switching was always fun, although less inspired each time, which is normal. And it's one of the funnier MCU movies in years, especially that one Fury line when someone lands. Best movie. What was that? I don't remember that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
James just don't know.
Yeah. And how do you spell it? EOGHAN. How do you spell that? How do you say that?
How was it?
EOGHAN.
Yoan?
Yoan? Yeah, okay.
Maybe.
The Marvels was unfortunately too generic for me to enjoy. Vellani's charm and switching places dynamic wasn't enough to distract from the fact that it was clearly butchered by Feige in post. Oh, Feige's shot!
Oh, Feige did it personally.
Leaving much to be desired. Worst movie ever. But I would say, like, for most of the reviews that people have sent us, I put some, like, more, like, negative ones here, but are generally pretty positive.
Yeah, I've noticed that so far as well. Yeah.
It could build over time.
Yeah.
I don't think it will, but
no.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of Twitter reactions I've seen have just been like, it was fun.
Yeah, go to
Bit of
Disney.
fun.
Wait for Disney Plus or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we move it along?
Yes.
Movies?
Yeah.
What's next? Deadpool 3? Is that the next thing?
No, it's what we read and what we're going to read.
No. I mean in terms of the next Marvel property movie, Mason.
Oh.
Unless we... are the Expendables movies set in the MCU?
They might be.
Yeah.
They could be.
Yeah, they could be.
Yeah. Maybe Sly wants to sell them.
Maybe he does. Oh, he is in the MCU, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's fucking... What's his fucking face or whatever,
Yeah,
isn't he? He's
yeah,
that
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
He's that guy.
Maybe Vance Astro?
Scar?
No.
Scar.
No.
Let me check.
I think he's Vance Astro.
Sly Stallone MCU. He plays...
Yes.
We voiced King Shark in
Yeah.
the Suicide Squad, which you didn't know.
I do know everything.
Yeah, he plays Stakar Ugord.
Oh, all right.
Ugord?
Ugord.
What's happened to you, Ugord?
There's a reality show. He's got a reality show. It's called The Family Stallone,
Okay.
which is a...
Do you have a boxing reality show? Like to the
Maybe.
Family Stone? Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's going to say, because the band is called Sly and the Family Stone, right?
Right, okay.
So clearly they've gone Sly and the Family Stallone. But then somebody's lawyer's gone, well, we can't have it. People will confuse the band for this reality show we're doing, so we're just going to have to call it The Family Stallone.
Perfect.
Yeah, that is perfect. That's why that was what I was getting at. It's perfect.
All right, should we move it along?
Yes.
What to?
What we're reading?
What we're going to read?
Yes.